Ask the Messenger's TV show is a TV show that educates, informs, and entertains our viewers on public health issues such as mental illness, suicide, addiction, illness and disease, COVID-19 relief, crime, domestic violence, homelessness, human trafficking, employment opportunities, healthcare, and more. And now, Ask the Messengers.
Today on Ask the Messengers, we bring you stories of resilience, recovery, and redemption. Whether you're on your own path to recovery, supporting a loved one, or simply seeking inspiration, the stories these women share in this episode will let you know that no matter how deep the struggle, women do recover from drug addictions and human trafficking. Plus, in this show, resources and programs for City of Detroit residents. Also in this episode, we continue to celebrate women in recovery and are so proud of our very own Kimberly Mallory, who shared her own addiction to recovery on the big screen with an exclusive VIP movie premiere, Silent Scream, and our cameras were there to capture this celebration. Ask the Messengers begins now.
I've tried suicide because there were times that I did want to get high but didn't know how to stop. I could just remember walking up a street and just wanting to just run out in front of a bus. Couldn't tell nobody about it. The fear of being judged because I had been judged all my life, you know? And that was scary. You know, because I'm standing at the bus stop waiting on the bus to come up any street. And I just want to jump out in front of it. I think part of the thing that kept me from doing it was my children. I didn't want them to go without their mother because although mine was there, she still wasn't there. You know, I didn't want that for my kid. I've been around drugs and the lifestyle all my life, but my first experience with personally smoking crack was at the age of 13. I was with some friends I was going to school with, and we started hanging around a dude that they were making extra money with. They were making extra money by prostituting, selling his drugs, recruiting people. And this was around the era when people started wearing Adidas and starter jackets and things of that nature. And where I was raised, my grandmother, my grandparents weren't big on those things. People were dying for shoes and coats back then. But I still wanted to be like my friends I went to school with. So one day after school, I went with them and started selling drugs in the house, and I started using it. Went to prison, went to a center at the halfway house after serving 6.5 years, and didn't make it back to the center on time. Right. Thought I can go get one and go back. You know, I thought I'd been this long without it. I can go get one, and I can still go back to the center on time. I got a couple hours I can get high. I can't. I got to face my family, you know. They was rooting for me. They was happy. Everybody was there when I came home that day to get out. Wow, I felt like I had just let the world down. That was one of the most depressing things.
So I was on the east side of Detroit. I was in my car and I was like very incoherent. I was like looking to score some drugs. I was at a gas station and there were two gentlemen who told me that they could get me drugs. And then one of them hopped in my car, put me in the passenger seat, and then kidnapped me in my own car. I was then taken to Grosse Pointe Woods, or it was somewhere in the Grosse Pointe area, and then I was sold to this Italian man who kept me in his basement, and they all did what they wanted with me, and that's what they fed me drugs, and then they just did whatever they wanted with me. So.
Now, tell us how did you get out of that situation?
So. I mean, my only explanation for me is God. God got me out of the situation 100%, but I was, they were transporting me to another location, and for whatever reason, the guy who was taking me let me drive my car. And he was and I think they thought because I was so hooked on drugs that I was just gonna do whatever they asked me to. And it was I got in my car and I was following him to another location in Detroit. And it was like God spoke to me and was like, don't follow. Like, you gotta leave, you gotta get home. So like I turned the opposite way. I got on the highway. I went to my mom's house and I called treatment that day and got back into treatment.
With all of the things that's happening with human trafficking in the news, what would be your suggestion to a young woman who may think it can't happen to me? What would you say to them?
First of all, like, don't think that you're an exception. I never thought that it could happen to me. I didn't think that somebody would just kidnap me in the middle of a busy gas station where there's people around. I think that when we're on drugs and we're using alcohol, our minds are so clouded and we think that we're like invincible, right? That like none of these things are gonna happen. But for those who have been through it and like make it out on the other side, like my suggestion to you is to like seek some kind of treatment. I see a therapist weekly. I have resources through Turning Point, and share your story with somebody else, because there's so many women who go through this, and especially like younger teenagers who are being sold into this industry. And like I just thank God that like I made it out of that, and like I'm able to share that with another person. But like, don't think it can't happen to you. I never thought that I would be, not me, you know what I mean? I had the attitude, it's not me, it's not gonna be me. And then here I am locked in a basement, you know what I mean? It's instant.
From street walker to street reporter, that's my story. My clean date is December 28th, 1994. My drug of choice was alcohol, crack, and marijuana. With that being said, my upbringing was in a house where addicts ran in and out of all the time. So addiction is not new to me. I grew up in addiction. I also got took from my mother at the age of 7 and became a ward of the state for the next 10 years. After that, I became a ward of the streets from 16 to 26. I was in the streets doing whatever it is I had to do to survive. And being in the streets, I became an addict, full-blown addict, just like my mother. You never know what a person been through unless you been in their shoes. And I remember as a kid saying, when I grow up, I'm gonna be just like my mama. And so I had turned into her, right? And for a long time, I was scared I wasn't gonna make it to 35. And I did. We made it past 35 because my mother got killed at 35. She got shot in the head with a .357 2 feet away. Her boyfriend killed her. They only charged him with careless use of a firearm. And so like from 16 to 35, I didn't think I was gonna make it. It's been plenty of times and plenty of incidents out there when I was in the streets where my life could have been gone like that. I know it was God with me.
Welcome back to Ask the Messengers. And as we continue to celebrate and show you that women do recover, our very own author series host, Kimberly Mallory, stepped out on faith and took her story to the big screen. She hosted an exclusive VIP silent screen movie premiere. Here's our coverage.
We are here, we are here, we are here, Kim, we are here. Today is the day. You looking gorgeous. Give us a spin, girl, give us a spin. Yes, now, today is the day.
Yes.
How you feel?
Amazing. You know what, just like my movie says, right now, I don't know how I feel because I'm just all over the place. I'm anxious, I'm excited, I'm happy, I'm blessed. And look how many people have come out to see my story and to hear my story. I'm just so excited to be here today.
Well, I am so grateful that you took the charge, you listened, you trusted God, and you moved forward in spite of what you say, Kim. Let's say it together. I'm still standing.
I'm still standing.
And I am here with Bryson. You played her son. Now tell me what it took to get ready for this character.
So what it took to really get ready for this character was to read the book, to understand the story, right? Because, of course, we get scripts and we understand what's on the page, but she also had a book which helped a lot. So I read the book, and I got to meet Bernard before we filmed, so I observed him while he was just walking around, his mannerisms and things like that. So that's what I did, and I actually read the lines with my mother because just to make it a little more original and let it flow out. And then we had a benefit because Miss Kim was on set with us, so that just made it 10 times better.
Now, how easy was it, like the first day of set? Like, what were your thoughts before you got to set? Look, and then tell me your thoughts after you shot your first scene.
Okay, so my thoughts before I got to set was I was nervous. Of course we're nervous, but one thing we did that was very important was pray before we started. So the fact that we prayed before we started, that made everything 10 times easier. And my scene partners, the whole cast and crew did amazing. I love them to death, you know, and they're my family now, you know. And after shooting my first scene, actually was one of my favorite scenes, which was the alley scene where I actually approached my mother, Miss Kim. I felt so good after that. She felt it. I was happy that she was happy. And because it's her story, I just want to make her proud.
So who is this pretty little lady? What's your name?
Joy.
Joy? You in the movie, Joy?
Yes.
Who you playing in the movie, Joy?
Little Debbie. Little Debbie.
You playing Little Debbie. Did you have fun playing Little Debbie?
Yes.
Did you remember your lines and you said them all real good?
No.
What? You said no. Oh, you just so cute. You just stand there. That's good enough for us. Did you have fun being in the movie, though?
Yes.
Do you want...
My favorite part was, it was just a lot.
Ooh, well, she said it was just a lot, y'all. You are a star in the making. She said it was just a lot. So I know you're gonna be in more movies.
Yes.
Hi, everyone. I'm Kimberly Mallory's sister, and she's been just such a great person all around. She's an author. She's an actress. She's just a kind person. So I just wanted everybody out there in television land to know that.
All right. Now, she gave her the kind. Now, Kim, tell us all about
the real deal?
Tell us about Kim. Tell us about Kim.
I'm the oldest, so Kimberly is the baby.
Yes.
And she has really come a long way.
Yeah.
She's come a long way. I'm proud of her.
So when Kim started writing this book, and you know, this is her realness, she really laid it out on the table. You both were there in several of those situations. Yeah. So how was your support with her going through what she was going through? Now that you see where she's come, just tell me I'm getting chills as I speak, I'm telling y'all. Yeah. Tell me how you feel in this moment.
I felt the same way she felt because we both lived through the story that she's telling in her book. So we both lived the same story. So I'm just so proud of her. I really am.
Awesome. All right. Come on, big sister.
Yes, we've come a long way.
Yes.
And she's done a lot in a short length of time. And we're just really proud of her. Really proud of her. Yeah.
We are too.
I remember the day that,
everything went down.
Yep.
Okay, wait. Not no spoiler part, but who put her in the car and said, "Girl, baby, we gonna get this right. You getting in my car? Don't ask. I'm taking you." That was you? Well, you know what? Let me hug you.
Thank you.
Because you know what? It was that day and in that moment while we are standing here, and you are a real huge part because you forced her to take that step.
I did. Well, actually, I blackmailed her.
Whatever you did,
it worked.
It worked.
It worked. Yeah.
And guess what? Yeah. We all still standing.
Thank you. Yeah.
All right.
I am Latia Matthews. I am playing Kimberly E. Mallory, okay? I am, Kimberly E. Mallory, okay? I am playing Miss Kim, and I can't wait for you guys to see this and check this out. Like, this is going to be good.
Now, I'm about to dive a little bit deep for you. Obviously, this book, this movie, it has gone on an emotional roller coaster. Like, how did you pull from that? Like, what did you have to do to prepare for this character?
I tell people this all the time. We've been on a crazy press run, and I've been telling people it was no real preparation that I had to prepare for this. It was literally a spiritual thing. It was a God thing. It was a in tune thing. I don't know, but I literally tapped into her energy, and I think that was the preparation. But I didn't even prepare for that. I just had to get there and do it.
All right. The man of the hour, the moment. Teddy, what's up?
How are you?
We saying Detroit. What up, though?
What up, though?
Yeah. So listen, you put this together.
I do edits, I do video. Give us the story. How did you put this together? What was in your mind? What was your thought? What was your plan? How'd you execute?
Which part are you referring to? The whole thing?
The whole thing.
Well, I didn't put it together. Miss Kim put this together. I had the pleasure of bringing her vision to life.
Absolutely.
So I always want to make sure I lead with that for sure, because without her, we wouldn't be here right now.
Absolutely.
But she gave me the motivation, the encouragement and the ammunition with her book to put this whole thing together with everything she went through and everything she overcame to give us something to, what's the word I'm looking for? Something to motivate us to get out of any dark place that we are in life. Yes.
So, when you tell us some of the things that you go through, like people think that editing and directing and putting film together is so easy because everybody can do it now. Tell them the truth, man.
It's an experience. I definitely say as long as you have the perseverance to push through, it can be done. It is definitely a grind. It is definitely hard work, but it is definitely all worth it once you get a chance to see the people that you're doing it for smile and the people that you're doing it for enjoy the product that you put out.
So I am here standing next to an attendee of the movie today, but what's special about her is she actually has a book, Kim's book, the very first copy when Kim did the first launch in 2020. She brought her book to this premiere. Robin, tell me, how does this feel? Now, when you bought this book, you didn't know all this was going to happen, or did you kind of know that it would?
Well, knowing Kimmy, I knew that it would happen. She told me about her book, and we had talked about it, and I told her that her book was going to save lives. And I told her that one day her name will be in lights and it will be a movie. And here we are today. I have her first signed autographed copy, and it's a blessing that she gave. She actually gifted this to me. And this was not too long after I was diagnosed with breast cancer. And so I was encouraging her, and she was pouring into me, not knowing what was going on with me. And so when she sent me this book, I did try to read it. I couldn't, because it was hard to read, because I knew her as she is right now. So to read what she was going through, it was really hard. So I'm just going to toughen up, trying to make it through the movie. But I am so proud of her.
I am so glad that you made it in today. How are you feeling, Kimberly?
To be honest with you, I don't really know how I feel.
Do not make light of the Lord's discipline. And do not lose heart when he rebukes you.
May I please be excused, Gerald?
Her movie was such a big hit, and by popular demand, she will be showing it again on Sunday, August 18th, again at the Riviera Cinema on Grand River Avenue in Farmington Hills. Visit her website, www.kimberlymallory.com, for showtime and to buy your tickets.
Shut up, Kim.
I got something for you, Ma.
Because you live in Detroit, here are some opportunities available to you.
Because I live in Detroit, I was able to get tuition-free college through the Detroit Promise. I feel very fortunate working with the Detroit Promise. They were able to afford me so many opportunities. I'm currently studying media production and journalism at University of Michigan Dearborn. I'm looking to take my talents further into the production industry, short films. I love working with people here, and this is where I want to be. And that's why I'm Detroit for life.
Detroit for life.
Neighborhood beautification. That's very important to Detroit. It's very important to block clubs, organizations, and people who live in the community. We got started with 2 lots and a vision of a treehouse center. Because if we can take these blighted lots, Detroit give us grants to to be able to do something with them that the community wants, it's a plus because we're bringing our neighborhoods back to where we want them to be, where they should be, all because I live in Detroit.
Without Project Clean Slate, there is no telling where I would be right now.
It gave him back his life, because once he got the felony, it seemed like life was over.
Being unemployed, being depressed, being a burden. Project Clean Slate helped wipe those things away. I can't say thank you enough. I am now able to work for a reputable airline. Detroit had my back, all because I live in Detroit.
Tell us your name and how did you find out about Project Clean Slate?
My name is Chantel Joyce, and my daughter, told me about the program.
Okay.
She called me, she said, Mama, they is bunging records, and I think you need to get on it. And I told her to send me the information. She sent me the information, and I got right on it.
So tell me about the process. So if someone else watching may be uncomfortable or a little bit nervous, what are some of the process that you had to go through in order to apply? What was asked of you?
When I went through the program, they asked me for my information. They looked up everything. They had me to come down to write off some of, the charges that I had. I had to do my footwork just as well as they had to do their footwork.
Look right there and let them know that.
I had to do my footwork just like they had to do their work. So they had me to go to the precincts to get them all signed off, and I had to bring them right back. I did that in one day, because I'm not playing. I wasn't playing. I was trying to get this done.
So going through the process, about how long did it take before you started seeing some results?
I started seeing results within a year.
Okay.
Within a year.
Okay. So speaking to someone that's watching right now, what would you like to share with them? Because there are people out here who have felonies and they're afraid or they think it's a scam because, we got scams all over the place. They think it's a hoax. Talk to your people.
It's real. And if you want your life back, get the help while it's free and they helping you. I'm glad, I'm grateful. I'm glad I got my life back.
Okay. Now, in one sentence, how would you describe Project Clean Slate?
It's a nice program. I'm thankful that they have a program like this to help people because it wasn't nothing like this at first. I'm grateful. That's all I could say. I'm grateful for Project Clean Slate to have my life back.
Thank you to everyone within the city of Detroit who are doing all they can to unite and transform our city into an unforgettable place. They are truly part of creating a better future for everyone who calls Detroit home. All Detroit residents can visit www.detroitmi.gov/Detroit for Life to learn more about all the programs that can make it happen for you too. Well, that concludes this week's episode of Ask the Messengers. We also invite you to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and to subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you would like to help support our show, please feel free to make a donation of any kind by visiting our show website, www.askthemessengers.org. If you prefer to mail donations, please make check or money order payable to Ask the Messengers TV show and send it to 18400 Schaefer Highway, Detroit, Michigan 48235. Ask the Messengers is the program that deals with things that help you. Thank you for watching.